getting over COVID-19, baby. I finally got it.
Did you eat a pangolin?
I don't know how I got it, but I just it was probably just because everybody I know has it. Everyone in LA has it. It's this.
But you're vaccinated, so it's helping you.
I mean, you know what's so funny is you could tell that no one has any trust in the vaccine because as soon as you tell people you have it, they're like, "Oh my God, oh my God," and I'm like, "Well, I'm vaccinated. I'm supposed to be okay, right?" They're like, "Dude, be careful." Literally, people were texting me. They're like, "Be careful." I'm like, and these are the same people that were like, "You gotta get vaxxed."
As soon as you get it, they're like, "How long do you have?"
Yeah. They're like, my aunt's texting me. She's like, "It's scary. It's very scary." I'm like, I thought the whole idea was that you got the vaccine so that you wouldn't be inundated with texts like, "Are your affairs in order?"
No one wants. People are addicted to the death drama now.
Yes.
No one. We can't go back. We're not going to go back to like, occasionally someone dies and we just live our lives. If people don't have a death every day to talk about, or someone dying, or someone in the hospital, they're going to lose their minds.
It gives their lives meaning.
Yeah.
It gives their
a
life
death culture now.
Yeah, it's a death culture. It's a good point. And what's interesting about having this is it is, worrisome. You try to stay off the internet when you have it, right? Because there's always like a case, there'll always be something to read about where you go, "Oh, fuck,"
Right. There's always someone who's died of everything. Like everything out there you could die of, someone has.
Right. And what's interesting about COVID now is people act like it's the only thing killing people in America.
Right.
Like it's the only thing. This is a country, okay, that has mass shootings, an insanely high homicide rate, an opioid crisis, school shootings all the time, insane rates of cancer, heart disease, all kinds of problems, suicide, PTSD, untreated mental illness, horrible roads, traffic accidents. But people act like COVID is just the only danger out there.
Cops are finding hookers with like their throats cut, going, "Look, COVID's getting nasty." Which variant is this?
Yeah. Which variant is this where I shoot an innocent black guy in a 7-Eleven parking lot? What variant is that? I don't know. I went and I got this monoclonal antibody infusion, which really helps. It's the same thing they gave to Trump. And,
right.
Being bigger. Now I'm going to try to really lose weight now because this is not going anywhere, COVID, clearly. And it's just going to be
you already
around.
survived COVID. Why lose the weight?
Well, I just think it's still, it's a better idea. I got to prepare for whatever the next variant is going to be.
Sure.
The next variant's going to be like this. It's going to be hilarious. You're going to be like, not only does the vaccine not help the next variant, it hurts. Like, they're going to be like, "Are you vaccinated? Well, then the next variant's going to fuck you up.
Watch the fuck out."
Right. So I went and I got this monoclonal antibody infusion. It's made by a company called Regeneron, which is the thing that Trump got. Now, I don't know why it's not widely available. It is kind of like a miracle drug. I feel much better in under 48 hours. Really, I felt better in 24 hours.
I mean, it's hard to mass produce when you're based out of Argentina using old Nazi science.
Right. Well, but what's good about Texas is all the doctors here are QAnon. So they'll literally, they'll do anything, right? Yeah. Like when I went in, the doctor's like, "Did you get vaxxed?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right." Like he wasn't like, "Good for you," or he goes, "All right." So and then he goes like this. He goes, "You want some ivermectin?" And I went, "Well, I don't know." And he goes, "How about this?" He calls me up. He goes, "Why don't you go to a website? It's going to tell you all about the ivermectin."
He didn't even say what ivermectin is. He's just like, here, he's like, "Watch the trailer."
Yeah. He's like, "Have you seen Zeitgeist?" No, he goes, he calls me, goes, "How are you doing after the antibodies?" I said, "Good." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "You want some ivermectin?" And I went, "Well, I don't really know." I'm like, "I don't know that I need it. I feel better." He goes, "Listen, just go to this website and it'll tell you all about it." He goes, "These doctors," he goes, "they're highly peer reviewed." He goes, "They're well published." He goes, "They're well known." And he goes, So I go to the website and I'm not saying anything about ivermectin. I'm sure it has success and the people that believe it or whatever. But like Brett Weinstein's being interviewed on this website.
Brett Weinstein's not a doctor though.
He's not a doctor.
Like he's perhaps a doctor of something, but
whatever. He's like not a doctor. So it's very interesting. Like what? So I'm looking
at the YouTube link.
It's
if you want to take ivermectin, link in bio.
Yeah, no, it's literally a fucking, I forget what it's called. It's like the COVID Coalition or something.
Oh, that's
I forget the name of it. I wish I had the name of it, right? And it's like the let me try to find it. And it's a website where they just have all these different.
Is Gary V on there?
Okay, it's called COVIDcriticalcare.com. FLCCC Alliance, Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. We thank you for your continued support.
This is starting to remind me of the mortgage crisis.
So if you go to this, it just is like a bunch of interviews with people, and one of them is Dr. Pierre Corey and Paul Marik discuss the suppression of good science and more with Brett Weinstein. Dr. Corey on how ivermectin defeats the variants, blah, blah, blah. So it's just so funny. I was like, okay, I'd never been told by a doctor before to go to a website.
You know why, though? It's because when the trial happens, and it's like, and so you advise Mr. Dillon to take ivermectin. Actually, to clarify, I sent him to a website. He made his own decisions. Like, there's no doctor advice going. It's like he's selling you a speedball.
Yeah, the doctor calls me and goes, listen, we've had a lot of success with a new drug. Have you heard of the Compound Media Network? I want you to log on to Compound Media. And, I mean, listen, maybe it works. I don't know. But I feel better. My oxygen levels are good. I'm walking 2 or 3 miles a day.
Did you take the ivermectin?
No, I have a script for it. I picked it up. I was like, hey, if I felt bad, I was going to take it. Right. It's like 7 pills a day or something.
That's a lot of pills.
It's a lot of pills. But I made it through. But you've never had this, as far as you know.
COVID? No, I'm a very healthy man, and I've managed to keep it at bay with my physical acumen.
Well, and you don't leave your home.
I leave occasionally. I mean, I go out to dinner. I go to the movies. I've seen 4 or 5 movies since they reopened.
How 1950s of you? You're like, I go to the dinner. I go to the movies. You know?
No, but I'll walk around. And my girlfriend, Lucy, she walks, she leaves the house a lot. So, if she caught it, I would get it. So, no, I mean, it's, I think it's not tearing through New York at the moment, but, I'm sure it will at some point again.
The doctor calls me back and he goes, I want you to watch a documentary. Sit down. He goes, sit down.
Do you know that Jesus is actually based on the Sumerian myth? Anyway, take this pill.
Do you know that Jesus was based on Horus? Do you know that?
Oh, interesting. That's very interesting.
I'm like, can you take my blood pressure? He goes, sit down. Sit down and relax for a little bit, okay?
Our money is not backed by gold. Did you know that?
It's backed by nothing. You understand?
It's like, hey, what do my platelets count look like? Yeah. Oh, debt is slavery.
I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. It's the only way to keep the government in check. I'm like, I understand. Is my oxygen good? Is it above 95? What's the
thermite paint?
It's also some of these doctors in Texas, you go, where did you go to school? Like, because some of them go to like Texas Christian Academy of Jesus,
Well, the weird thing is, like, don't a lot of them go over, like, I know, like, when people come from other countries, they, like, their medical license can't transfer for some reason. But, like, aren't a lot of those guys, don't they go down to, like, South America to get their licenses a lot of the times? Isn't there a thing that they go to Brazil or they go to, like...
Is that true? I didn't know that.
I don't know. Or like some... I think there's med schools in the Cayman Islands that, like, some of these guys go to.
Oh, my God.
Next to the banks that, like, fund all the money.
I mean, listen, I'm happy, though. I got the antibody infusion. Like, I am glad that they were like, let's throw everything at it.
Yeah, no one's taking chances with you. No one thinks you're fighting it off on your own.
That's not true. I'm white. This is disproportionately affecting people that are non-white.
Because they don't get the blood of the children injected into them like you did.
Well, I was given it because it's given. There is a group in Texas called the Society for the Preservation of White Men, and and that's who. That's literally. I'm not even kidding. That's who gave me the infusion. That's who paid for it.
What?
That's who paid for the infusion. I swear to you.
What? Why?
It's about preserving European heritage.
That sounds sketchy.
Is it?
A little bit. I'm not sure what we're getting at here.
That's the reason I was able to get this. It said to preserve the lineage of Europeans.
I mean, are you really what they want to preserve?
This is. I don't ask, you know? I don't ask.